Now, Harry Potter and Professor X together at last. They take on a timeless classic in Victor Frankenstein.
We shall create a life out of death. It's alive.
Do you realise how significant this is?
Oh, I have an inkling.
Inspired by Mary Shelley's novel, it focuses on the relationship between the obsessive scientist and his brilliant protégé.
Are you not afraid to challenge the natural order?
Mr. Frankenstein.
No. And it's Frankenstein.
Daniel Radcliffe and James McAvoy were taken by the unusual retelling, a mashup of everything from the Hammer horrors to Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein.
This script is so different from any other iteration of Frankenstein that there has been, in the fact that it tries to marry up every weird version of Frankenstein there has ever been, from the films to the book to like the Monster Mash song, all of that sort of somehow incorporated into this sort of mad retelling.
We ended up with something, it was a bit more like an action movie at times than any of us expected.
When I read the script, my first reaction was just like, this is entertaining. Like, that's what its primary purpose is. So it's like a rollicking, rip-roaring adventure action movie.
Frankenstein's a guy that makes, essentially he's a guy that makes zombies. And he's a man of flesh, he's a man of body parts, and I just liked the idea that he was in his body too, and that, you know, he wouldn't walk anywhere, he would run everywhere, that he would climb everywhere, that he would throw people instead of guiding people.
I love doing any kind of stunt work. Like, they don't let us do it all, obviously, but like any that I will be allowed to do, I will very happily do, just because, like, you don't get to do that on every movie. You know, you don't get a chance to do much stunts when you're doing like the story of Allen Ginsberg or whatever it is. So you know, it's nice to just be able to do some stuff like this where you're running, jumping, climbing up chains, doing weird stuff. Like, I love all that.
Victor, no! Full charge!
Shot in the UK during some of its worst storms on record, this rain was really real, as was this monster.
It's real 6'9" actor Guillaume Delaunay in a prosthetic suit.
It's alive.
Well, that's rather obvious.
You have the chance to be part of something.
Of what? Being electrocuted?
Chased by monsters. And hunted by the police.
Well, if you're going to concentrate on the dark side...
Victor Frankenstein is a fun and action-packed rehash for the modern day, a bit like Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes.
You toy with wrathful forces.
I cannot argue with that.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Coincidentally, Dan was recently honoured with the 2,565th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
It is incredibly surreal and still slightly overwhelming. It hasn't really sunk in yet. Thank you. I really wasn't sure, like, what this would be, if it was just going to be me and like 6 people, or I didn't know like if you'd all turn up. So this is amazing. This is a crazy thing, and thank you.